Good morning. It is our last working day of the year. The sun is out and it is absolutely freezing cold. We are off to the church today to do two Christmas services. We had two parties yesterday with the young people working with lots of fun and games. Thus proving that whether you are 11, 12, 13 or 18, 19, 20, pass the parcel, still a lot of fun. So today, as part of the services we're doing, I'm going to be playing a bit of keyboard along with Budo, and then playing and singing a couple of my own songs in English as part of a sort of presentation I put together with Senka, who's Budo's wife. That's what you saw us rehearsing for last week. Rowan and Senka have also masterminded something called a labyrinth, and I'm going to get her to explain to you what that's all about.
This labyrinth, it's an idea that we've seen in other places and we've experienced, and we thought we'd like to make one here for our friends to experience. One Bible verse that's talked a lot about at Christmas is from Isaiah, when it says, "Unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulders, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace." So we decided for our labyrinth, we want our friends to have the chance to think about those 4 different names of God, what it meant that God came down into the earth to live amongst us. So this is the first room, the first place that they go to, and this room is the Wonderful Counselor room. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, people spend a lot of time talking with their friends and going to coffee and just sitting and chatting, and I think people find that that's just like a really good way of getting things off your chest and being able to talk to other people and getting their ideas and getting their help. So we kind of made this room a bit like a cafe theme. If you were sitting here having coffee with God, what would you say to him and what advice would you ask? Okay, so now we're going to go on to the next room. This is the Mighty God corridor. And the question is, when we say that God is mighty, what does that really mean? And why would it be good to have a mighty God on your side? This is King David's answer to the question. And then they get here. So what is your answer to the question? Here we have these 3 jars with 3 different answers. And people can pick up the stone and they can put it in this one that says, "Wait a minute, I haven't really thought about it enough." Or this one which says, "It would be really great." Or in this one that says, "I don't need that." So in this part we're talking about the everlasting Father. We all have a picture in our minds of what a father should be, and we all have our own experiences of our own father here on earth, what he's been like and what he hasn't been like. No matter what our earthly experiences are, whether they're good or bad, this is what God says about who he is. So here we come to the Prince of Peace. And the eternal question of, if God is good, why do all these awful things happen in the world around us? I think it's important that people know God didn't promise that everything would always be perfect, but he said we shouldn't be afraid in the middle of everything that was going on. And here we've got these pieces of fabric, and people can write on this one, if there's something in their own lives where they need peace, some issue that they're struggling with, they can write it on here and tie it onto this thing as a kind of symbol of a prayer. This is where I need help in my own life. And then with the blue cloth, they can write a place in the world or a person that they know, or maybe a situation that they know of where peace needs to come and make a difference.
So we've done our first service. It was really good, and had a bit of food. We wandered into town because somebody said in the park there always used to be peacocks, and they brought the peacocks back into the park. And yes, it's true. An amazing display of male chivalry. As I approached with the camera, the guy just sneaks off around the back, leaving the women vulnerable at the front. Don't think much of that. Maybe naked. That's enough fun with dogs and peacocks for one afternoon. Time to go home, check the fire's still going. It was so cold this morning, and I could see my breath as I was eating my cereal. Not a good breakfast. And yeah, that's got an hour or so's break, and then back to service number 2. Another beautiful but bitterly cold morning here in Zagreb. I'm off to the church building to pack away after last night. It was a good evening. Lots of people really enjoyed the labyrinth and really enjoyed the music, the presentation and everything that went on. So all the hard work was worth it. And yeah, and this will be it for us for this year here. And next time we speak to you, we're going to be in Zagreb. And here we are, off to see the sights of Advent in Zagreb. It's got to be said, that's pretty cool. We're up on the top of the old town bit of Zagreb, and yeah, apparently there's something new a little bit that way, like a new attraction, a tunnel, all sorts of lights and all sorts of things that's new this winter, so we're going to go check that out. So we found what we were looking for, which is this tunnel, which should lead us somewhere. We'll find out where. This is something to admire about Zagreb culture. It is freezing, and literally freezing outside, but there are people sitting outside at cafes drinking, and they're still selling ice cream, and that's a fantastic attitude to the weather, I think. And there's loads of these cafe bars, and they have heaters, and they leave sort of blankets out for you to sit and wrap yourself up, enjoy coffee and ice cream in the freezing cold. That's perfect. So we are in Zagreb, not just because we fancied seeing Zagreb, although there's nothing wrong in that. But we were in Zagreb because we're on our way to England for a big family birthday and other celebrations. And just the way bus timetables work and flights work, it's easier to come the day before. This vlog is almost our last vlog for this year. It marks 6 months of weekly vlogs since we restarted our video adventures, and so we want to take this opportunity to say to you
Happy Christmas,
and wish you a very happy new year. Thanks very much for watching. That could well be it for today's vlog, so do give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed all the activity, and leave us a comment or a question, and remember that together we do adventure. We'll see you next time.